Nigeria, by extension, Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, lives a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
Good morning and welcome to Ray's Breakfast. It's the weekend, and as always, this show is tailored to connect with the youth, keeping conversations real, relatable, and refreshing. My name is Oluchi Precious Omink, and as always, I'm joined by the amazing Triumph Akimboye. Now, this week, we've tackled a wide range of issues from political matters shaping our nation to social realities that affect our daily lives and even health conversations that keep us grounded. But today, we're switching things up with something special. Our Creator Spotlight. Drum rolls. And this is going to be a space where we celebrate and unpack the journeys of young talents who are shaping culture and conversation in their own unique way. So please stay with us because it's going to be worth your time. Before then, let's get to meet our amazing Triumph Akimboye.
Good morning, Oluchi. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing as well?
Well, I'm fine. I feel good. Today is Friday.
Sure? You look tired. I'm
But
going to say it. You
tired,
look very tired,
honestly.
Triumph. You've really been through a lot. I feel like spoiling you. I feel like actually
Yes,
taking you for a
please.
spa date and, you know, giving you all the massage. Not me, the people that are trained. Because you really need to be treated like a baby girl. Are you in for it?
I'm in for it. So
Are you
when
sure?
do you want to? I want you to say when so that
So that
our
we
viewers
will
are going
meet,
to bear me witness.
Not anytime soon, but it is going to be in the books. But I wanted to play this game with you. I want you to tell us 2 truths and 1 lie about Triumph Akimboye, and let's see if we're going to get that.
The thing that I was thinking about this particular game, like yesterday night or very early this morning, it was this morning, right? That's amazing.
We're saying 2 truths and a lie. Make it hard for me. Make it hard.
The first one, I'm very good with pidgin language.
Pidgin language, okay.
And the second one is my mom is actually from Edo State.
Okay.
And then the third one is I currently have 5,000 naira in my account.
This is hard, but I think the lie is your mom is from Edo State. Am I correct?
Okay. Yes, that's one lie.
I said 2 truths and 1 lie. You gave me 2 lies.
In fact, I gave you all the lies, everything.
Imagine. I'm not playing any game with you again. But we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're heading straight to check what the papers have for us this morning. We have the Punch and the Guardian, of course, to analyze, and I'd like our viewers to be part of what we're doing today. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, our valued viewers. What are your thoughts on these historical milestones? I'd love to hear your insight and perspectives as always. Remember, you are the main ingredient in our conversations. Our phone lines are open. You can reach us via 0702-5007-749 or 0701-424-2420. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, it is at Official Upgrade TV. Click the subscribe button, like, share the link, tune in to channel 145 on your Go TV, and you always catch these beautiful faces every morning. Well, right now we're going to be looking through the papers that have been making waves. We have the Punch and the Guardian, and let's start with the Punch. Triumph would lead us with the Punch.
All right, so let's have the Punch news. It's a screaming headline here that I am really wondering why it made the headlines, because it's something that we've been discussing about, which is as regards the fact that Nupeng Dangote clash as tanker drivers deal collapses. Now, the writers to this story, Dangote Refinery says union membership not compulsory as Nupeng ponders fresh strike. Marketers urge adherence to Memorandum of Understanding. NLC warns refinery against agreement breach. Now, we've been going, back and forth about Nupeng and Dangote, as regards the clash that they've been having. Now, the story that we had before was that they actually come to an agreement as regards Dangote, because Nupeng, they came at Dangote that Dangote is not doing right with them. Dangote is not doing this and that. Now they're coming out to say that their deal is about to collapse because, Dangote Refinery has come out to say that the union membership is really not compulsory, and now they are thinking about, going on a fresh strike. So I don't really know about this Nupeng and Dangote clash. They've been going back and forth as regards it. And then another story says, so a story you would find when you open page 30 of the Punch, 2027, Jonathan Obi hold closed-door meeting. Now, it's so funny. I'm still going to come back to this story. But to another story you would find, INEC shortlist 40 new party applicants, disqualifies 157. And in respect to, the situation of debt in our country, energy crisis looms as gas firms halt supply due to the 5.6 trillion naira debt, and then court summons mark others over ADC leadership tussle. Supporters await Fubara's London return ahead of resumption. So this is some of the story making headlines in the front page of the Punch News. Now to my story of interest, or stories of interest. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, on Thursday held a closed-door meeting with former President Goodluck Jonathan in Abuja. Obi actually disclosed the visit in a post on his X handle on Thursday, and he described Jonathan as his elder brother, a statesman and leader. Now, one of the things, of course, they wouldn't have made the details of the meeting known to us, but ahead of the 2027 election, this development is coming, amid the ongoing conversation about Nigeria's political direction and the state of governance under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, I am wondering that what is about to go on in 2027. The fact that I think that Peter Obi is beginning to, for some people, Peter Obi is beginning to maybe disappoint them as regards maybe it feels like, okay, maybe he's getting more desperate and all of that, and then people have different opinions about what is going on. But then I'm wondering that why are you having closed-door meeting with with our former president? But I just feel like at the end of the day, because Obi is saying that, okay, we continue to engage stakeholders in the upcoming election. Yeah. So I really want to see, I'm particularly curious as to how, Peter Obi will be, I don't want to use the word behave, okay, towards the 2027 election. So fingers crossed, and seeing all these people that he's meeting, closed-door meeting, I'm just wondering that what is going on. And then to the second story that I want to talk about is as regards the INEC, announcing that the INEC shortlist 14 new party applicants, disqualifies 157. The Independent National Electoral Commission has announced that 14 political associations have scaled the first hurdle in their bid for registration as political parties, while 157 others failed to meet the requirements. Sometimes I'm wondering that if INEC is saying that they received 171 applications seeking party registration, and then I'm wondering that at the end of the day, when it's time for, election, or even when it's not time for election, we know the parties that are actually the parties that, I'm not making conclusion that they stand a chance to be heard, but we know the popular, 1, 2, 3 parties. So it gets me to wonder, 1, 2, 4, that's about 4 now. We have the popular ones. And then it gets me wondering that, okay, so how about these other parties? Away from all these 4 and away from these 171 applicants that, that applied for party registration, how will these people, or maybe they don't have a voice, or maybe they actually have a voice, but because of the power that is rested on some of these key parties, is it going to give them the opportunity to actually be able to do anything? For example, the key parties that we are having in Nigeria now, they've been for a very long time. I remember back then, APC. APC then, before they could be powerful, they came together. Different parties, had to come together as one. Yeah. So I'm just wondering that, do these people, will they stand a chance against these people? Because we also know that whatever happens in the country, so I don't really know But then I'm just wondering that
Your
this INEC
papers
party...
this morning have really highlighted some interesting things in the political landscape. And it's something, I know when I was looking through the papers this morning, something that the makeup artist Memina said was that they say the same thing every single time. Almost like we're just going round in circle. The updates are not really as we should expect in that sense. And even looking at the whole Labour Party stuff, especially with Peter Obi, and surprisingly, Gbadegbo wrote Bible. I was very shocked when I read or I saw that he had defected, to the ADC. And I think it was a bit predicted what is happening currently in the Labour Party. The fact that they are not coming out as strong as we thought they would, considering the chance they stood in 2023. And seeing a major candidate like GRV, who was a very major Labour Party candidate for the Lagos governorship election. So I'm like, why is this going on? It's not even 2027 yet, but a number of things are already happening. That seems quite interesting. That seems quite interesting. And I think when I was watching a particular interview, they were asking him that why did he defect to ADC? You know how they give their answers and it's going this way, that way. But eventually, they are all entitled. I mean, you are the one that would choose what would work for you, because this is a game. It's a game you are playing. So if you look at your card...
Using Nigeria to play a game.
But it's not funny,
game, but that is
a game.
it.
If we get used, if we really accept that
it is a game
tagline, we will
be
not
less
be shocked.
surprised.
Yes, that's the word. We won't be shocked by many of the things that happened, right? So you're talking about the in-house meetings with Obi, and of course, why shouldn't he have the in-house meetings? He ought to have it, because if he wants to stand a chance in 2027, with the way things are shaking, please do all the networking that you can. I remember some people are already giving predictions about how it would play out. But I feel like, yes, it's necessary to start thinking, be forward thinking with what is going to happen in 2027. But let's not lose track that we still have 2 years in that sense, or maybe less than 2 years, to still make this administration count. Did you get it? So there's a number of things, honestly. The Guardian doesn't have... any better. I like to say that because it still has some stories that will make you really wonder. So let me start with the headlines. It says, open defecation crisis worsens, threatens 2030 sanitation target. That's a very sad one to begin with. And above that, we see First Bank floors Nduka, Obiagena, GHL at the Court of Appeal. ADC split deepens as faction claims court barred Mark and Aregbesola. MRA faults attacks on journalists, urges intervention. Lagos activates Ebola response system as DR Congo battles outbreak. And we also have appeal court orders chief registrar to confiscate crude on board FPSO Tamara Tonkin. Of course, going back to that open defecation crisis and, its threat to sanitation targets in 2030, there is a pictorial display here of different things, and I think I can't really call all of them out. So, you could look through it very carefully and see what exactly it means. But let's even talk about how disgusting these first headlines sound. This is something that Lagos especially...
I thought they wanted to mention that it's Lagos State.
It deals with... That's what I'm trying to look at, the pictorial stuff. Okay, it says here, Delta, Lagos and others struggle with enforcement awareness. It says only 9% of households have access to basic sanitation services. 48 million still without toilets as cholera and diarrhea kill over 100,000 children yearly. North Central leads in prevalence, followed by Southwest. This is really not a very... good thing to hear. And the reason why I can relate to this news is coming to work this morning, passing by my own locality, as they will call it, just walking, because I'm going to catch the bus, a few steps ahead of me. And then I'm being met with this kind of odor that is terrible for an early morning walk. And this is something you find everywhere, open defecation everywhere. It's a very terrible behavior, because we are the ones doing it.
We are the ones.
We are the ones doing it. I'm putting this we because I want everybody to take responsibility right now. Do you understand? This is it's a disgusting thing. Open defecations on roads. I mean, we have a sanitation target, but we are far-fetched with what is going on. And I think it's a very embarrassing and a terrible thing.
Now,
we should really be cautious about.
The funny thing about this is the fact that it is not even just open defecation. If they are doing this report for open defecation, let's talk about, open people urinating in public. That thing is very terrible in Lagos State. I'm like, is it that easy for you to just open up anywhere?
Yes.
There is really no place. That's, I remember one time that this 7 Corps member, that she made a video as regards the fact that
Lagos
the
is
state is smelling and all of that. Do you know that then, there was a lot of backlash and all of that? But I'm like, is it not the truth? Maybe because then I was also coming from another state, but that is it. Like, everywhere, when you get to certain places, maybe some key places like all these CMS or Balinde, all those places, people are just there, and
we have workers that are dedicated to making this place clean. But
how will he show? How will he show? He can't even
far
show.
can you go? Now, the really sad thing about this particular update is the health implication for people, especially children. And that leads me to my next story, which is quite really important for us to hear. It says 15 pediatric surgeons serving 4.3 million people in Nasarawa. Professor Philip yesterday came to the disclosure that the Federal Capital Territory, that's the FCT, and neighboring Nasarawa State have 15 pediatric surgeons for a combined population of approximately 4.3 million. Wow. In a welcome address at the conference that they held for the surgeons of Nigeria, that's APSON in Abuja, disclosed that over 2.2 million of the aforementioned populations are children. And the chairman of the local organizing committee of the event maintained that the dearth of pediatric surgeons in both the FCT and Nasarawa is a sobering reality of the situation across the country, which falls below World Health Organization recommendation and I think even standards. Stressing the needs for urgent action to address the challenge, he expressed optimism that over the coming days, the rich exchange of scientific information, innovative surgical techniques, and invaluable clinical experiences would enhance the collective expertise of participants drawn from across the country to ultimately improve outcomes for children in the country. Something I realized recently is that when the health state of a nation fails, the persons or the group of people, the demography that really suffers it the most is actually children in this case. And I think what's going on with the FCT and Nasarawa and other neighboring states already proves this. Imagine having just few doctors serving a large number of people. You can imagine what is going to occur. It means that you do not have enough hands to really cater for the medical needs of these people, and it's going to cause a lot of death. Do you understand? So it's a very troublesome one. And the fact that we as individuals, we don't even take care of our health well. So that means we are at a juncture where we would fall ill.
It's so funny
and when we do, there's
back.
no one to take care of you, especially the children. Seeing that there's a rise in cholera, in diarrhea, there's even Ebola everywhere, but not in Nigeria, hopefully. So it shows that we really need to take our health very seriously. And I think this particular number, this disparity, should be checked. We should really ask what's going on, but we already know the answers. Don't we know the answers to why we have few surgeons in a state of over 4 million?
That you're taking us back to what happened yesterday as regards to the topic that we discussed about. And one of the things that, the doctor that came on board mentioned is that in a pediatric surgery, in a pediatric ward, there are quite the number of surgeons that are actually supposed to be attending to these people. And if just two, how many pediatric did you mention?
15.
If just 15 surgeons are going to be taking care of all this, there's going to be a lot. Some of these children are at risk of different diseases. And it's not just all these diseases that you're mentioning. Goodness was mentioning glaucoma or something like that. There was the way she said it. She mentioned some other thing, put together with the doctor. And then some of these diseases actually require attention because there's some that you might not be able to determine that is going to happen, and then you're just in this situation. And now imagine that there is nobody that is there to actually take care of these people. It's quite the funny thing. But however, when we think about some of these doctors, when you hear them talk, we know that they are underpaid. Some of them are underpaid. If you're asking even these surgeons, how much they're making, these pediatric surgeons, how much they're making, it's going to be like a very, very sad
ridiculous amount.
Ridiculous amount. So I don't really know how we should tackle this. And the best way to tackle it is really obvious. If not, we will keep having some of these surgeons leaving leaving us, Federal government will go back and forth and say that, please help us beg these doctors, help us beg the nurses to stay and all of that. But if they don't have, if you're not providing them with the basic, they also need to survive. They are doctors, but they also need to survive.
Yeah.
So I really think
before
the federal
we wrap
government...
up this segment, this story, I've been trying to avoid it. And for reasons best known to me, because I hate going round in circles. In this life, let us know where we're going, forward or backward. You know that sound? I know go back, I know go front. But this story is about, the Senator, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. So we know that her 6-month suspension, I think it came to an end, but she's been denied, reinstatement back into the Senate. And this has caused a number of things. So let me read what I found on The Guardian. It says the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has issued a demand for her immediate reinstatement to the Senate. She therefore gave the clerk of the National Assembly, Dr. Yahaya Danzaria, a 4-day ultimatum to facilitate her resumption at the Senate or face contempt proceedings and disciplinary sanctions. Akpoti-Uduaghan, through her legal counsel, Michael Jonathan Numa, SAN, rejected the clerk's letter of September 4, which insisted that her suspension remained subsisting until the Court of Appeal rules on the matter. The senator warned that failure to comply by Monday, that's September 15th, would leave her with no choice but to initiate proceedings against the clerk, both personally and in his official capacity. I mean, this is a long time coming, honestly. It was really shocking to see that these people still want to drag this matter. Fine. Something happened, right? We couldn't get the whole details. You suspended her. The court was involved. Legal, everything went in. And then she was suspended for 6 months. But after 6 months, what is causing the delay in reinstating her back into the Senate? You're saying that they still need to, subsist until the Court of Appeal rules on the matter. It almost makes us feel like maybe we do not really understand what this whole law is all about. Maybe they didn't give us the full details. Maybe the public is not aware of the full details of that suspension. Maybe they just wanted us to see 6 months, but beyond that 6 months, they had other things that they planned to implement. Because if it's not the case, she should be back to her office. We should be moving away from this story. We've dragged it for too long. For way too long. So coming back to say, I'm threatening you again, you are threatening me, I don't know how it makes us look like. Because everything that happens in the Senate, I feel like it's a representation of the people themselves. So if we're seeing people who are supposed to be leading us, acting in ways that are questionable, you're almost wondering, when it comes to the real serious matters, how do you people handle it? You are the lawmakers. You are the ones determining policies that will help the country move forward. So for a particular matter like this that has stretched for too long, and we've seen how you people have handled it. So when it comes to the real things that will take Nigeria forward, that will make our policies better, for everyday Nigerians, how do you people really handle it? What is really going on? So I looked at this story. I've been avoiding because I'm like, what do they want to say again? The same things over and over. But this is a call for us to really be particular about little details like this. Do you understand? And let's see how Monday, September 15th is going to be, because the senator has issued another warning. She's coming back really hot this time around. And that's all the story we have for the papers this morning. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be having our creator spotlight and, of course, something for your weekend. So please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back shortly.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back, our valued viewers. Today, Friday, is our Creator Spotlight, and we've titled this one Beyond the Likes, Growing as a Young Creative. We all know that we love scrolling through Instagram and TikTok, on YouTube, and we've seen creators or creatives do their thing. It looks smooth, effortless, and sometimes even glamorous. But let's be real, behind every post, behind every reel, or even any campaign, there's a whole story of late nights, of pressure, of trial and error, and a lot of unfiltered reality. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, Beyond the Likes. What does it really take to grow as a young creative? Of course, we have a guest who will be joining us very shortly. But before we usher in our guests, let me just leave it as a bit of surprise for you all. We are going to be discussing something very briefly before our guest comes in, and that's in the area of audacity, because I think that as creators or as creatives, or as even young persons are trying to make a name in today's society, one thing that we cannot take away is audacity. Of course, our guest is going to come in and give us, tales and her experiences and what she has been through to succeed in this particular competitive space. But there are some posts or thread, as I call it, that I saw that I want us to even discuss very briefly before our guest comes in, because young people really need to know what it takes to succeed, and they should be ready to do what it takes to succeed. So there's this quote I'm going to be giving our viewers, or letting you in on, and I want this to be your quote for the weekend. It says that life meets you at the level of your audacity. And this is something that people don't really pay attention to, but it is so true. So before I go ahead to read the post that I saw, I want to give you a personal story of mine. Well, I would say that when it comes to audacity, right, I'm still learning. But there are some audacious steps I've taken personally, and I'll say this shows that I can even do more. So let me start with the one I always say all the time. Starting my journey in the media space, it was not like it was handed over to me, like, there was one gig waiting for you. I knew I used to talk about it with my friends a lot, that I really want to use my voice, I want to speak on radio, I want to be on television, I want to hold the microphone, I want to have that spotlight moment. It was really something strong on my mind. But my course of study and my journey didn't even look like that is the trajectory it will, look like. So what happened was that I saw a particular advert, right, that said that Unilag Radio at that time needed volunteer radio presenters. Of course, they put the, what's it called now, criteria, very rigid one. I'm like, hey, do I fit into all of these amazing criteria that I've seen here? And then, you know what I did? I said, I'm going to go regardless and attend this. But the day that we were supposed to do the interview that they set, I wasn't in town. I wasn't around. and there were a number of people that had applied. So the next day, I was like, I know that I wanted to do this, and then I've missed this opportunity. But I'm not just going to sit down like this. I remember the clothes I was wearing. I was wearing an orange T-shirt, in brown trousers, a face cap, and a sandal with one tote bag. I was looking very casual. I did not go with my human hair and heels. I was like, let me even go to this station. Shebi is my school. Let me even go and tell them that, see, people should just, if it's to be at the behind the console, what they call it, let me be seeing what's going on. I want to be in this space. I want to at least start this journey. And this was maybe 300 level, that period of long strike. So I got in there that day. The first thing they said, well, it has closed. You know, statements like that can really deter you, like, oh, there's really no way forward. Like, it has closed, though, it has closed, though. I was still trying to say, oh, I'm so sorry. In fact, I really wanted to be here, but I could not be here. You know, telling different emotional tales so that they can relate it to you on that level. And that's how the head of the station came out, Mr. Lamo. Shout out to you for really believing in me before anybody did. And then he just heard me speak. Because, like, I actually like your voice. That was the first thing he said. And I said, okay, come first. I know that we've done a lot of interview, but let me put you with the microphone and let's hear how you even speak. Let's see what you can do. This was at the spur of the moment. So I think we scribbled a script very quickly, and I did the dry run or whatever they call it. And that's how he said, okay, we're going to give you a show to host every weekend. It was going to be a recorded show. And that's how I got my feet into radio. I would say it was an audacious move, because I remember when I left there, I sent a voice note to my friends that I am now a radio presenter. Get ready for Lucci. But that really reminded me of the fact that sometimes some things we do not get, or the reason why some people stay in certain places is because they're not audacious enough to want to go for it. There's a lot of overthinking. Am I going to be the one that fits into this? So before I even bore you with my own story, let me show you some things that people have been doing that really implies audacity. And of course, Triumph will give us our own tale. The first one here, he shocked me to my bones, trust me. He said, this is from Ru, and I got this post from Zikoko Mag. He said, I looked at my salary and my newborn. I carried my legs inside Lagos Island Market and started selling plates to hotels and restaurants. In 10 months, I bought 2 shops and put it up for rent. Now, I'm living a completely different life, but that period changed so many things for me. When I saw this post, I said, audacity. This is big-time audacity. Just think of it. She knew her salary couldn't do anything. She knew that she was really way behind. Do you understand? And she said, I can't even stay in this position for too long. She took... What I love about this is that, oh, so this is my reality. Let's find a way out. And I think this is something every young person out there, this is the kind of mentality to take. Because if you look at your nation, the economy, everything, if you stay in the place of complaint, you will stay there for too long. But audacity will give you that which you thought you did not deserve. So let me hear what Triumph has to say before we usher in our special guest.
So talk about audacity.
Yeah.
Audacity is really something that I do at every point in my life. I don't know how I was able to catch on to that early. Not early, but I mean, the period where I started taking both steps is actually, you know, the period I started broadcasting. I mean, I can't start my broadcasting journey. My media journey has all been audacity, audacity, audacity. In obviously closed doors.
Yes.
That is where I will face that this thing was
open. I want to really do.
This is what I really wanted to do. I mean, I usually say that I did not start anything media until 2023. I did not know, I couldn't even speak well, you know, until I think late 2022, right? But today is not for all of that. But then one key thing about audacity is that audacity opens room for you even beyond what you can think about.
Many times people just like the fact that you are bold enough to insist on what you want.
Beyond what you can think about.
Yeah.
Sometimes I pick up my phone, I send some kind of messages to certain people. I don't know if I will get a response. I'm not interested. I say things like, the best that I can get is a no, or you will not respond to me. So it doesn't do anything to me. And then I go further. But do you know what this has done to me over time? Since 2023, I remember when I went for service and then I was like, I am going to, you know, serve in a broadcast station. There was really nothing that was going to qualify me. I went head on. One of the, you know, the bold audacity that I've ever taken in my life was going head on against NYSC. You know, I insisted on the fact that it took a lot. It took tears. It took everything. But I said, this, I am going to get it. When I mean, today is not the day for that gist and all of that. Some other time we are going to come. Maybe I will be the creator spotlight.
Okay.
And then we are going to talk about all that.
We're going to spotlight the creator that we're seeing right in front of us. Well, this is where we end our brief banter because our guest is here waiting for us to, of course, share her journey with us. Her name is Atinuke Ononuga. We're going to be exploring her journey, her wins, her struggles in this creative industry, and of course, the audacious moves that she has made so far. So to every young person listening to us, this is an inspiring one for your weekend. Stay tuned. We'll be right back shortly.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
All right, welcome back, our valued viewers. We've said it and we're finally doing it. Our creative spotlight. Our guest this morning is the perfect person to help us unpack the topic, what it really takes to grow as a young creative beyond the likes. She's a digital creator and marketer. She has worked across industries like fintech and investment banking. She's also a public speaker and voiceover artist, basically a bundle of creativity and versatility. And outside of all of that, she's a book lover and a music head. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Atinuke Ononuga, popularly known as I Am Her. I think that word, I am her, or that phrase, I am her, is a very audacious one.
Yeah.
It's you trying to embody everything together. Like, I don't need to put a lot of tag. I am the main character.
Like, so
I was so
how
happy
I
to have
actually
you
got
here.
that name, funny enough, it started with Tiny.
Okay.
My name initially was Tiny because everybody was like, oh, you're so small, you're so tiny. I'm the smallest in my house.
Okay.
So I always, felt small. Anytime I'm like working with older people, I always feel small. So I got the name Tiny. But over time, I'm like, wait, no.
Can't put
I
myself
can't
in
be
this
Tiny.
box.
I'm her. Like, I am her. And the meaning of HER means humor, energy, and radiance.
Oh, no, that's a very beautiful one, very unique one. And I'm very happy to have you here as our first creator for our first creator spotlight. I'd like to ask you some questions, but before then, I don't want to deviate from what we were discussing before you came on air. We're talking about audacity and the fact that as young persons or as young creatives, we really need to start taking audacious moves. I saw a quote recently that has been singing. I've been singing so much. It says that life will meet you at the level of your audacity. Yes. And there are many people I've watched, I've read, take audacious moves to do certain things that they thought they weren't qualified for. And today they are making waves. So before we even begin to open up the critical stuff that you have done and the nitty-gritty, can you tell us some audacious things that you've done in this creative space and how it opened doors for you?
I think, for one, even starting for me, because it was something I was doing for other people, but starting for myself was a very bold step. I was overthinking, like, what do I want to tell people that they've not heard before? What is going to be different about me? How will I start? I should have started, right? I started, and it's been a journey. Like, I was able to meet the likes of Don Jazzy, right? I was able to pitch myself to be able to work with Jazzy Burger. So things like that, like, you have to talk, you have to meet people. And I've met very, very interesting people so far. So you have to be able to put yourself out there. You are not supposed to be hiding yourself. You need to be visible. So
even when you didn't feel qualified for certain things, based on probably experiences or network, you felt like the least they could say is a no.
Is a no. Exactly, exactly.
Let's hear what Charlie has to say.
Could you remember a particular point that you felt like that was, one of the, aside to the time when you started content creation, but could you remember, one of that time that a bold step, an audacious step actually produced the results that you can't forget?
I think it would be when I was able to, like, reach out to Don Jazzy and, like, talk to him. We had, like, conversations. He opened my eyes to, like, so many things as to how I can grow as a creator. And being able to, like, work with, Jazzy Burger and, meeting their head of marketing, also having, like, a conversation with them. So, yeah, that was
such a moment for you.
It was a moment. Funny enough how it was such a moment, I didn't even get, like, videos of me and Don Jazzy. Like, it was so crazy because I was, like, livid. Like, I'm literally with Don Jazzy. I couldn't even make a video, but, like, it's in my head, it's in my memory.
And the impact is happening.
Exactly.
You know what? Going through your page and seeing how you grew over time, I think you should first tell us your growth journey. How you started,
the year you started,
and where you are on right now. Because I have a question to follow after that.
Okay, so I opened Instagram like 2019, but like I wasn't posting on my page like that. Sometimes I'll post, then I'll delete everything. I'll be like, what's all this? I'll remove everything. Then this year, January, I lost my job in December. So I said, okay, let me just start doing this thing for myself since I do it for other brands, I do it for other people.
You want what number of followers then?
1,000.
Interesting.
1,000.
Okay.
So I started in January. I just saw that this thing is going, it's going, like from 2K. Somebody was actually monitoring me. That is the interesting thing about social media. People are watching. This person was making a screenshot of every time I hit a milestone.
Do you know, I used to do that for some people.
Wow.
He was making notes. He even made a video and sent it to me when I reached 10K followers. He was like, impressive. So yeah, so far, I mean, how many months? 9 months, and I've been able to grow to over 13,000. So it's been a journey, really. It's been exciting, it's been tough, it's been confusing, but we're here.
Honestly, you've done so well. Before Triumph will speaking about your journey, because I remember the first time I met her, it was at a particular creatives hangout, and then that was something that was being analyzed so well, and I was in awe, like, really? People really do this, and I'm seeing someone, up front killing such amazing feat. But, beyond the aesthetics and the glam and everything, I like how you said the Because I've gone through your page. Your page is that kind of page that if you want to relax, just
when it keeps
doom
scrolling.
scrolling. Because your voice, the aesthetics, the calmness, you have that particular niche and it's beautiful. But people will just think that she just set up a camera and want to say, hi guys, how are you doing?
Talking.
Beyond that glam, what is one reality of your journey that people will not even guess just looking at your content?
The sleepless nights, so funny enough, like I have to make research. I need to be sure what I'm talking about. I can't just, I don't want to be that creator that just says anything. People will give you suggestions. Oh, why don't you like act a fool on social media? It's, you get viral content. I want to be that one person that adds value. It's not easy because especially when you're looking at the numbers, you see that some of the content you put out, the one you expect, it will go viral. It won't go viral. Oh. Then the one you're like, you just post, it will now do numbers. But the sleepless nights, making research, think you're confused. Oh, is this my niche? Should I diverse? Should I do this? It's crazy. Then you reach out to people, they will give you their own inputs. You look at it, you say, does this work for me? Will I look back years from now and be like, yes, I'm happy I did this? Or am I going to be like, hey, what is this one again, right? So I want to be very, cautious with what I put out. I need to make my research. I need to be confident in what I'm saying so that if anybody asks me, oh, Tineke, do you remember that post? I'm like, which post? It's not Cramo.
Okay.
I study these things. I want to know. I want to know it by heart, so that it's not like, oh, la crame la pro. No. So yeah, those are the things that I have to.
Amazing.
Okay, so sometimes one thing I get about creators, usually they are in between the struggle of, should I make something, everybody wants to, for example, start dancing online.
Tell me
Everybody
about
wants to start dancing. The pressure of if I don't dance to a particular, trending sound,
Yeah.
if I don't adjust to, certain things, everything trendy, people believe that is what actually makes you really, really trend. So in your journey, but when I went through your page, it wasn't like that. I mean, I don't think I saw you dancing.
I'm actually not a very great dancer, so I don't think I will put that effort on.
So has it ever happened to you that maybe somebody has come to tell you that, oh, I think you should start?
Girl, every time. Oh, you're so fine. Why don't you like dance? Make music. All those artists, upcoming artists, they will tell you to
Video vixen.
things like that. Oh God, because I'm not a very because I'm a content creator now. I have to meet people. I have to go outside, but I'm mostly indoors. I'm an introvert, so having to even do this content thing self on its own is stressful
really
for me, but I have to do it. But for the most part, making content is something that I enjoy. That is why it doesn't feel like work. So when people are not telling me, oh, do this, do that, I'm like, hey, calm down. Maybe you should calm down. So it's something that I enjoy doing. I don't want it to feel like work ever. That's why it's very easy for me to like set up a camera, even invest, like buying lights, buying mics and all of that. So yeah, that's
I read one tweet recently, or not a tweet from Salem King, the creator's creator.
Yeah.
He said something that that as a young creator, the stakes are not so high. Do you get it? Like, if you're so scared of making mistakes at this beginning stage, you're really feeling it. Because now, you don't have a lot of people focusing on you.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my
Do you
God,
understand?
that's so true. Yes.
But I want to link that to how your own growth happened.
Yeah.
On 2K, we're probably posting, getting few likes, and you could just do and get away with some things. But as you began to grow, did you start questioning your identity and your authenticity and how did you deal with it? Because it's almost like, 10,000 people are listening to me, 13,000. I feel like if I'm the one, I will begin to overthink what I'm doing.
Girl.
And that's where people lose their authenticity. They start trying to act like what you're not.
Yes.
So when you experienced that, how did you manage it so that other creators coming up?
So somebody asked me, why did I start in the first place? Like, what was the reason? Was it to make money? Was it just to be out there? Why? And looking back, I started because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy wanting to impact, add value. So at some point, I was confused. I was just putting out anything. right? But that wasn't me. I wasn't happy putting those things out. So I got confused. In fact, sometimes I'm still confused as to what exactly is my niche, right? That question. But I need to give myself time to grow. This has been just 9 months. Like, calm down, okay?
The world is not going to calm down for you. Surely they
True,
see your number.
true.
They feel like you're a pro already. You should have it all figured out.
But nobody has it all figured out, though. That one is a big scam.
Do you know one thing about what you just mentioned something? Because I am really fascinated about this. I don't want to use the word the speed of your growth, but the range of your growth. Because you started, January 2025, and then we have it now. And there is a me.
Don't bring yourself to this equation.
That's a whole lot. So were you able to lean on? Because sometimes you have these viral moments.
Yeah.
And then after a while, that's...
I'm currently struggling. I had when I started, it was 24K, 200 and something K, 300K. But now it's
5K, 3K.
It's not, the cane is not,
So what do you now decide to lean on in this kind of situation?
Enjoy it. Just enjoy what you're doing. People will pick up later.
This is a very personal
Just enjoy
question.
It's very personal. And this answer, I think, is a very true one because it's coming from your real experiences.
Yes.
Because I was telling somebody recently that I struggled with consistency on some platforms, and that's because of the engagement. I'm going to be sincere right now. So when I hear people say enjoy, I'm like, of course I do enjoy this, but the essence of even posting and putting my work in, because I want you to see what I'm doing. Yeah. So all that enjoying that you're saying, my sister, it can be so hard to swallow. Especially if it's going to be something that you're going to monetize. So tell us about the financial benefits of this so far, and how you've been able to manage and grow. Because looking at your portfolio as well, you've juggled a number of things from fintech to investment banking to social media. I mean, you do a number of things. This young girl I'm seeing. So how do you balance everything and make good cash?
So from this, again, there's something called pretty privilege that I somewhat enjoy. Let's not lie. I somewhat enjoy that. So I get handouts. People oh, I really enjoy your content. Let me encourage you. Bam.
Wow.
This is always cute to use a pretty privilege.
Pretty privilege.
Yeah, it works. It happens. It's life, right? It's called the halo effect. So people tend to, kind of favor people that they think are attractive and stuff. So I get handouts. Let's not lie. It's the reality. Women, men, they will say, take some gifts. Here, help me push my brand. Hey, help me. So you get brands to work with, and you just get individuals that give you money.
They just like you.
They just like you.
For what you do, not him.
There are some people that, but we'll leave those ones.
They know the overstretch of that.
Yes. But they just want to help you. They just want to see you go there. I'm rooting for you. People like Drama Queen. Funny enough, I had an event in Abuja. I was a guest. But these people saw me and they made me their head of partnership. It's called the Global Creative Hangouts. And we're having an event in October, right? These people saw me as a guest, but they just enjoyed how I spoke, how I related with people, and they just made me their head of partnerships. So things like that, right? You need to be able to be willing to also take opportunities. Because sometimes you might be too scared, this opportunity is too big for me, or think, take it.
Be audacious.
What is the worst that can happen? Right? So, yeah.
Honestly, you're an amazing person, and I can't wait to see you grow. I can't wait to see what December holds for you. From January to September, look at the growth, and I'm sure before December next year is going to be awesome as well. Thank you for joining us.
So
and to our viewers, I'm sure you've seen how creative and consistent and resilient Atinuke is. And this is to every young creative listening. Remember that likes may fade, but the value you create and the stories you tell will always stand. So keep building, keep learning, and most importantly, real. This is where we wrap up our segment for today. Till next week, Monday, still Friday. It's still Raise Breakfast. Catch you again. Bye.